Hello everyone, this is Rabab Alma, licensed marriage and family therapist and international life coach. And my topic today is about parenting. A hot topic. I receive a lot of questions about parenting, so I decided to make this live about parenting. And I want to point out that these lives are not meant for medical or professional help. They are meant for general info only. So if you need help, please contact me or any therapist in your area, but definitely seek professional help if you need it. Thank you, Romana. Salam alaikum. Thank you for joining me. So let me know where are you joining me from, which city or country, and let me know what you think about the topic. Good to see you, Romana. Thank you for joining. So the topic again for today, as I stated in my Instagram, I will post my Instagram link in the comment section. So I spoke about, it was a short live on Instagram, and I pointed out that I will be talking about parenting on Facebook. Thank you so much, Romana, for your support. So the question here is, what do you think about parenting? Is it about parents or about the children? So when I see some parents struggling with their relationship with their children and their teen in particular, and it's like sometimes I often hear that, well, they really made me so mad and angry, and I was that close to kick him or kick her out of the house, and we were like screaming and yelling. Romana said, good topic, and I think it's a very much needed topic. Yeah, that's why I chose to talk about it, because I receive a lot of questions about this, and I think it's important that when I talk with parents sometimes, and they say that we have really good relationships with our children, we give them everything they want, but then when they say the story, you can see the disconnect, and you can see that this is their version, this is the parents' version of the relationship. But you see that the children or the teenagers, they are doing stuff behind their parents' back. They are hiding stuff. They are afraid, or they are scared, or they are trying to, and they're lying. And so parents come and talk about it, and they are disturbed. And of course, we can't blame them about that. I mean, of course, any parent will be disturbed. But we want to take a step back and see, how did we contribute as parents with the results that we are seeing? So I think we need to take a step back, and we need to really take a close look at ourselves and examine ourselves. So the child who is repeating a certain word that you are mad about, did he learn it from you? A question. So look into that. I'm not saying that, I mean, parents do their best. They try to, and I'm a parent. My daughter is gonna graduate from Gobal. Good to hear you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining. So my daughter is a senior at University of Pennsylvania. She's going to graduate this May. It has not been always an easy journey. Actually, parenting actually brought me to psychology and marriage and family therapy, because I wanted to be a different parent for my child. And I didn't expect in my wildest imagination that I will be a therapist one day. That was not, I always liked it, but I never thought that I will love it to be my profession. But I realized that I love it. So that what brought me to psychology or marriage and family therapy is my relationship with my daughter. So I realized that I am repeating same patterns that I used to resent myself. Like don't you sometimes find yourself repeating words or saying sentences or doing certain behaviors that you used to dread when you were a child? And then you repeat it with your children. So the issue is, if we don't work on ourselves and if we are not in control of ourselves, we cannot be in charge. So if I am unable to control my emotional reactivity, how would I expect my child to do it? I need to model that for them. And if I am not modeling that for my daughter, why on earth I would expect her to do that when I did not teach her how to do it? So when I have a conversation with some parents and they're, yeah, we're screaming and I was screaming. Salma Jabbar is watching. Thank you for watching, Salma. So I'm screaming and he's screaming or she's screaming and we are like, everyone is hearing us. Why are you doing that? Why do we allow ourselves to engage in a fight? So they are screaming. Of course, they are teenagers. Don't forget, they are younger. They're full of energy, strength, and they don't have the stressors we have. And they can argue with you until the next day. They can do it easily. Can we do that? As parents, we are exhausted. We can argue for like 10 minutes, and then after that, I'm exhausted. I'm done. I can't do it. So we need to really understand the difference in power here. Although you are the parent and you have the authority, but who has more energy and time, and who has more stake at the argument? So if the teenager who's trying to have their own identity, and then they are arguing and they're louder and you are louder and they are doing this and you are doing that and then you are tired, there is something they are gaining out of that. I look like I'm like a peer with my parent. There is some kind of, they are asserting their identity, asserting that I'm now like a separate person than you. You cannot tell me what to do. So we need to understand that, and we need to change the way we are raising our children. We cannot raise our children the way we were raised. They are being raised for a different environment, different time, and different technology, and everything's different. Zahir said, marhaba. Thank you for joining. So our children are raised for totally different environment. What worked for us will not work for them. So we need to always be 2 steps ahead. Are we 2 steps ahead? I mean, these kids already, for instance, when you hold this iPhone, for instance, and there is a new app, are you going to tell your teenager, can you tell me how to do this? Can you teach me? And you ask once and twice and 3 times, and you make mistakes, and you tell you, oh, mama and baba, why did you do that? You should do this. But they're already having that. They are advanced. And we cannot underestimate that, oh no, they're still young, they don't understand. They do understand more than what we can imagine. So are we prepared for that? So, and what do we need to prepare for that? So I have some notes here, and I prepared them from, so I'm a scream-free parenting certified leader, and I had an interview, I think a couple of months ago, maybe, I think so, about scream-free parenting. It's on the my YouTube channel. You can subscribe and go and watch it. But there are certain points I need to talk about this today or tonight. It's not only just about techniques, it's about principles. So why on earth you will tell your child, don't scream at me, and you're screaming left and right? Because you're the parent? Because you have the authority? Does he agree with that view? Or she? You can assert yourself as the authority, but while you're asserting yourself as the authority, what are you losing? Are you losing their respect, their trust, their love, the connection with them? What we are losing is priceless. In no way I want my connection with my daughter to be for the sake of obligation and duty. No, I want her to love me. I want her to visit me because she misses me. Salma said, this is a very good point. Thank you. Thank you, Salma. I want my daughter to visit me because she wants to be with me. I want my daughter to feel herself when she is with me, that she can let her guard down. I don't want my daughter to walk on eggshells around me. I don't want her to feel that she cannot wait until she leaves the house. I don't want that. If she feels that way, then I lost her. This is a loss for me. Or this is how would I perceive as a loss. You want your child to love to be around you. Excuse me. You want your child to trust you, and you cannot gain their trust if your words are contradicting with your actions. Don't lie and you lie. Don't yell and you scream to the top of your lung. Don't do this and you do the same. The opposite, the exact opposite. We want to be consistent. We want to have integrity. And we want to show that by actions. So when we tell our child, oh, don't worry about it, you need to be in control. Are you in control in your house? Why houses, our homes, turned into miserable places? Everyone is in their room. No one wants to talk to each other. No one is sharing meals together. No one is having a conversation. What's going on? What led to this result? And don't say that, oh, they are teenagers and they are just being rebels and they don't want to. Yeah, this can be part of it. But what are we contributing to it? What did we do as parents? So we cannot claim that we are doing our best and that's it. Parenting is about us. It's about controlling our emotional reactivity, the anger, the frustration, the resentment, the passive aggressiveness. Instead of like giving them a direct message on how you feel, you kind of give these subtle, passive, aggressive messages, and that will create resentment and anger. Silent treatment is another one. Emotional activity. I'm not going to talk to you. We want to be consistent. So if I say, for instance, you are not allowed to be outside the house after 10 o'clock and they are late, okay? Then today you are feeling you're in a good mood, so it's okay. Tomorrow you are not, then you punish them. So there is lack of consistency. And then also you don't want to punish the children very harsh punishments. It's like no TV for a month. Okay, so they're gonna get used to it. Then you are losing what you can punishing them with. Make it immediate, consistent, and short. If you cannot handle the punishment, don't give it to them. If you yourself find it difficult to be implemented, don't do it then. So we want to be consistent, and we want them to bear the consequences of their actions. So if they are late for their homework because they were procrastinating, don't do it on their behalf. You want to also foster an environment of success. Are you yourself a procrastinator and they are learning from you? Is the parent, am I a whiner that's why they are whining? So we need to look into ourselves and see what are we modeling for them. So let me know how you feel about this in the comment section. I will be happy to respond to your comments and to your questions about parenting. Is parenting about the kids or the parents? And it's important to, and believe me, the children, we want to be good enough parents. We are not saying that no one is perfect. But we want to understand that the mess we do to little kids, they sometimes, I'm talking mentally, sometimes they spend a lifetime to get over this. So how about we just raise children that they are healthy enough that they don't have to overcome dysfunction that we are exposing them to for the rest of their lives. And this applies to every parent, including myself. I think we need to really be mindful of what we say, what we do. We cannot just be like whatever we want to be in front of our children. We want to be mindful of how we are reacting, behaving in front of our children. You cannot be just yourself and just be angry and screaming and yelling and cursing and saying whatever and see you interacting with other people in a certain way, and then you expect them to behave at their best. They are learning from us. So in front of the children, we need to be mindful, respectful, having integrity, consistency. So Romana said, I think parents first have to work on themselves as individuals before they can fix kids. Absolutely. It starts with ourselves. Parenting is about working on our growth. Jamila Yain Brood is watching. Thank you for watching. So yes, children will be, I'm going to use your word, fix. Children will improve and progress when we improve and progress. When we improve, when we show them a different behavior, integrity, when we show them that we are modeling the right model for them. So I have a point here. For instance, when you want to parent your child, what do you picture? What picture do you envision for your child? Do you see them successful, happy, having an easy life? Because that radiates through how you interact with them and how you the words you say, your energy. What do you expect of them? And people and children will always meet your expectation, no matter how high or low you set this expectation at. So if I'm expecting my daughter to be successful, happy, warm, and this is what I give her, it's not only by my words, it's by my energy. She sees that. She feels it. This is the key. Feel it. Is to feel it. Then they're gonna react. It's about alignment. Your words and actions and feelings are aligned. You are not projecting your own issues and baggage on your children. And if you have individual issues, you go to your own therapist and deal with that. But you don't get your anger on the weakest part in your life, which is their children, their kids. They absorb everything from us. And if we don't really give them the warmth, the attention, the integrity, the respect, the love, the happiness, so what are they getting from us? And we want to understand that we also, everyone is carrying their own baggage, that we need to work on that. We all have some events, emotions, feelings. We experience that within our lives. No one is immune to it. And we need to be truthful to ourselves, to face that and work on that. To be willing to be vulnerable and to grow. So we can really transcend that and we can parent better. When it comes to teens, so your teen will come to you and ask you a question. They're testing you, but this is not the main topic that they want to talk about. They usually throw something like to test the water. because there's always stories. There are always stories underneath that question that's not related to this question on the surface. So it's up to you to sit and listen, and don't jump to conclusions or to right or wrong or permissible or not. Just listen, just be there. And the more you are present, the more they're gonna open up. Like for instance, guess like you told your child, don't do this, and then you tell them the consequences, and then they go and do exactly the opposite, and then they, you know, face the consequences and they come to you. So are you gonna tell them, I told you so? Or, oh, what happened? Show them empathy and love and warmth. And then, oh, I shouldn't have done this. This is a process. This is a process that both parents need to agree on. Children need to see harmony, consistency, integrity, teamwork between the parents. This is one of the also the topics that people need to discuss before getting married. I mean, this issue can be like really, it's layers of issues. But when it comes to parenting, parents need to be on the same page. Parents need to start with themselves. Your child needs to see you taking care of yourself, so they learn from you. Your child needs to feel that there is hope, that you expect so much of them, not to put it as a pressure, but you see them as successful beings, as happy people. You entertain their dreams. Are you that person for your child? So when you see something in the household that you do not agree with, you want to look at yourself and see how can you change it, or change something in yourself that will impact that action or behaviors that you don't like. What is it? Let's talk about that. How about you write down, like, what is the most annoying thing that is bothering you currently about your child or about the household, whatever it is. Write it down. If you feel comfortable, you can write it down in the comment section and I will be happy to read it. What is it, the one thing? Like, we are not gonna just work on everything at the same time. One thing, pick one thing and write it down, either in the comment section or on a piece of paper for yourself. That's up to you, of course. And then think about one thing, one action that you may take or you can take that you can change in yourself that might impact that behavior. And we want to appreciate baby steps. It's like we are not going to go from 0 to 100. You know, we want to be gentle with ourselves and others, and change takes time, persistence, and patience. So we need to show patience to ourselves and to children. You are raising a human being. This is a very great project that you're working on. So how are you approaching that? Are you approaching that with love, anger, resentment, a feeling of burden? What is it? Because each type of these feelings has a reaction and a behavior and an energy that you are communicating with others. If I am parenting out of love, my child will feel it. If I am parenting out of a duty and I just want to get it done with, then the stress and the tension. Amal is watching. Thank you for watching, Amal. So if I am parenting out of resentment or out of fear, I am afraid I'm gonna lose them, I'm afraid that they're not gonna be successful, then you are not acting or like interacting with your children from a positive foundation. So you need to send positive vibes, and you need to send or to model, to be a role model for your children. How can you do that? By starting with yourself. Again, by starting with yourself. Children learn from us. I remember one father that he used to, and this is not a client of mine, because I don't share my clients' stories, but it's just an old story from my own childhood. A father used to tell his daughter, "You're too emotional. You're too emotional." And he used to scold her, reprimand her about that. When this child grew up, she realized that he was the one who was so emotional. So he was projecting his own self-hate on her. So what is it that we don't like about ourselves and projecting onto our children? That requires a close look into our own selves. What is it? Like when we are judgy, like when we judge someone, they're too lazy, they're too blah blah, and we are sometimes quick to judge. See, why are you judging that? That particular trait, is that trait in you? Why are you noticing this instead of noticing something else? And that applies to everybody. We need to be like, if we are really busy working on ourselves, we don't have time for anybody else. Because working on ourselves is a full-time job. To be self-aware, to be that person that you want your children to learn from. That's a big task. That's a serious task. And we will be asked one day about this. So are we ready for that question? So, and this depends on each one. Spiritual Negwa Amin is watching. Thank you, Negwa, for watching. So we want to think about, what are we modeling for our children that they are learning from? And if we see something in our child that we don't like, we really need to evaluate, re-evaluate, not only their behaviors, ours. It starts with us. So this concept of, when it talk about screen-free parenting that I had the interview about a couple of months back, it talks about setting priorities. And do we have our priorities straight? So when it comes to our own priority, everyone has, I mean, if you have spiritual beliefs, that comes first. Like, I will put that first. If you have certain spiritual beliefs, you want to put it first, that's also your choice. But then your health comes first. Self-respect comes second. Your marriage comes third. And then fourth, your relationship with your children. So are we having our priorities straight? So when my child sees me taking care of myself, having integrity, consistency is extremely important with children. When I am, I let them take responsibility of their own action. I let them take responsibility of their own actions. At the end of the day, they will make choices, not me. The child will make choices, not the parent. You can tell them whatever you want to tell them, but then they will make choices, and sometimes they don't tell you. We want them to make the right choices when they're not with us. We want them, and I really stress on that, when we are connected. Imagine that you are connected with someone, not through love, connection. When you're connected with someone, so when you're connected with someone, you don't want to upset them, or you respect them. Their opinion is important. Again, I never want my daughter to come to me out of duty. I want her to come to me out of love, out of desire. Khalid is watching. Thank you for watching. So what do you want from your children? And if we want connection with them, we want to model that for them. It has to start with us. So what are we modeling for them? It's like I used to hear that when I was, I mean, again, I don't want to talk about my clients, of course, for privacy reasons. So I will talk about my own stories. So when we were younger and we used to see, for instance, parents or teenagers, and I was young, and they were yelling and screaming with their parents, back and forth, back and forth. And then if you remember, for a certain second, you kind of lose who's the parent, who's the child. It's like they are screaming at the same level, and they are saying stuff to them, each other. And I see it happening now. Engaging in conflicts is a choice. So if you disengage, the argument will not continue, will not continue. So you want to rise above this like reactivity, the emotional reactivity that, oh, she's killing me or he's killing me and they're doing this and I want to yell and scream. Yeah, you can. It's absolutely your choice. But imagine with me if you pause for a second and you give a different reaction. How will that impact the whole situation? Don't forget, when we are angry, we say hurtful stuff. Hurtful words. We don't forget hurtful words. Oh, Sadia Yunus is watching. Oh, thank you, Sadia, for watching. So, hurtful, remember, when someone says, hey, Sadia. So when someone tells you, I mean, we don't forget hurtful words. We don't. Think of yourself. When someone, sometimes you forget the event, but you never forget how someone made you feel. So if someone says something hurtful to you, it will always stay. I myself, I still remember some very hurtful words that were said to me. So, and it's my choice to sit with them or to forgive them and move forward. And sometimes we think that we forgive, we forgot about them. We don't forget actually, but we forgive the person, it's okay, we moved on, and then they come back again. So imagine using that with your parenting style. If you are saying hurtful stuff to your child, you're saying you're stupid, you are whatever, you don't understand, you're a failure, what's the impact of that on your child? Again, children will meet the expectations we set for them, no matter how high or low. So, what do you want to, Khalid Jdal said, very proud of you. Oh, thank you for watching. Thank you. So, how do you want to parent? Khalid Jdal, thank you so much for watching. So, if you are, ask yourself, are you parenting out of love or out of fear? And this parenting out of love, I will give the credit for that to my friend and sister, Sadia. This is her word. So, parenting out of love. Imagine, Khalid says, do you think the way we grew up and reflect on how we raise our children? Absolutely, absolutely. So it's like, Sadia, thank you, Habibti. Yes, Khalid, I will go back to your question. Absolutely, the way we were, it's like you have a software. So you're gonna function out of this old software, and whatever you put in, you're gonna get out. The input, you put some input and you get an output. So you need to change the input. So we wanna reflect on how we were parented, and we wanna change it. And changing that means working ourselves, working hard on ourselves, and being mindful and pause. And we are teach our children that when we are emotionally charged, I'm gonna take a step back. I remember when we were younger, we were not allowed to go to our own rooms and close the door. We were not allowed to, because that was considered to be disrespectful, and there were certain words that they used to be said when children go to their rooms. So do we do that to our children now? We want to teach our children to self-soothe. So if I am emotionally charged, like for instance now, and my daughter is an adult and she calls me and I am upset and angry, what I will tell her, can I call you back? I'm not feeling well now. So maybe I want to tell her this story, and just calm down. Or maybe I'm so emotionally charged, I will tell her, I will call you back. But we need to be in control so we don't really project and spill our, what we call it, we're flooded. We don't want to flood on our other people. We don't want to just project our feelings, because sometimes we say certain words that we regret later. You cannot erase words after you say them. They're gone, they're out. The person heard your word. Wherever insult, wherever word you said, they heard them, and it's there. And if it's child, it's registered. What do you want them to remember about you? Oh, she used to curse me. She used to tell me I'm a failure. I used to feel very uncomfortable around her. It's like some children, even adults, I mean, I swear, adults in their 40s, they still feel fearful around their children, parents. They still don't feel at ease around their parents. Among us, there are people don't feel at ease. They feel that their parents don't know them. They're adults among us. It's like these people feel that they cannot be themselves with their parents. Well, Qasim is watching. Thank you for watching. So if some people feel that way, I mean, we always give credit to our parents. They did whatever they can, you know, and whatever, based on whatever they were parented. But then it's our job to fix that for our children. And if there is any abuse, it's our job to make that abuse stop. Stop at this generation. Are you willing to decide that whatever patterns were perpetuated through generations to stop here at your generation, and you are not going to give it to the next generation? Can you make that decision? No one else is going to make it for you. It's your own decision, and we can make it. Imagine how you feel. I mean, let's just be very honest and very transparent. How do you feel around your parents? Honestly. Not like what you say to people. Oh, I have beautiful relationship. I am, okay, fine. Go deeper. Go deeper and really, really, really know how you feel. And this, I'm not talking about this is their fault. They might, those parents did their best, and they might did something that they thought totally right. It's okay at that time. How do you feel about this at this moment now? Like now, a lot of parents come to me and tell me, oh, we used to do this, and now it's considered abuse. Laws have changed, perceptions have changed. Whatever we used to practice 40 years ago, it's different now. So this is not about blaming anyone. It's about taking responsibility. So are we ready to take responsibility of our own actions and words and feelings and show that to our children? Are we able to self-soothe? What do we want? I mean, this question, do we ask ourselves that question? What do we want of our relationships with our children? Do we want them to take care of us when we get older? No, I don't want my daughter to take care of me out of obligation when I get older. No. I want her to love me. I want to connect with my daughter. I want to have a space and a place in her heart. Genuine one, not out of obligation. Do we have a roadmap? What do we want out of this relationship? Do we ask ourselves this question? This is a very important question. Or are we just having children because when we get older there's someone to take care of us? Yes. But I want my child to take care of me out of love, not out of obligation. There's a huge difference. Look at yourself. If you were doing something out of love, what effort and energy you put into it. And if you're doing it just because of a duty, you're going to do this the bare minimum. Connection and energy and love are extremely important. Do you want that? Tiara Muhammad is watching. Thank you for watching. Please let me know if you have any question in the comment section. I will be delighted to respond to you and address your questions. But again, think about it. Think about your emotional reactivity, and that applies not only just with your relationship with your children, with your spouse, at work, our relationship with our own selves. With our own selves. It's like, you know, we need to be self-aware. You know, you can predict and know what's gonna happen, and you can be proactive. You want to be 2 steps ahead, sometimes of your own self. When dealing with our children, we want to deal with them out of a plan and integrity, respect and love, not out of emotional reactivity. Not because I'm so stressed at work and I'm gonna come, oh my God, now you have a problem at school, I don't want to deal with it. Sometimes we feel that way, yes, but how do we act based on these feelings? What do you show them? It's very important. I mean, there was a saying that, oh yeah, your father is upset, it's okay, he's screaming, so what? Okay, so that what did we teach the children then? So if I'm upset, it's okay to scream and yell. So they will do the same thing. When they are upset with you, they're gonna scream and yell at you. And then when you tell them don't scream, the first answer is, you're screaming. Oh, don't talk back to me. It doesn't work that way. Then you are going into an argument. But they are repeating the patterns we are teaching them. You're being disrespectful. Okay, did you respect them first? Did you show respect to your children? How do you interact, you and your spouse? Do you respect each other? Do you yell at each other and they see you yelling at each other? And how you what kind of a language you use among each other? And then they are witnessing. And don't tell me they don't see, they don't hear, they don't know, they're in the second room. They hear, they know. They know more what you can imagine. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And at the end, I'm suggesting this exercise. That pick one behavior on one thing in your household that you wish to change. And sit down and write it down. And think of how you can change your behavior or your reaction in a way that will impact that issue that you are working on. Just one thing. Because if you change one thing, that will change, it's like a system. It will change the reaction from other people. And you need to appreciate the small changes. You need to focus on the positive. If you see a small change, cherish it, appreciate it, love it, use it as a motivation to do something else. Don't say, oh my God, no, I wanted this like 100% and I only got 5. It's a start. It's how you look at things. Enjoy the little moments. Appreciate the little efforts. When you do that, you will feel that energy and you will radiate it around you. We owe that to ourselves. No one else is going to do it for us. This is our own responsibility towards ourselves to be better parents. If you like this video, please hit like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love to hear your comments and your suggestions. If you have any other, if you'd like me to address any other issues, please let me know. I'm reachable. You can reach me via email, phone, website, Facebook, wherever. I'm here to connect with you. And I wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for watching. Sadia, amazing. You are amazing. Thank you. Lana is watching. Thank you so much. Thank you, Khala Ijlal. Thank you so much for watching. And until I see you next week, have a wonderful and blessed week.